My name is Nick Welsh. I'm a firefighter paramedic for a local fire department here in the Reno area, and this is my mental health story. I've been in public service, fire service in one form or another for about 13 years now. I've been at my current position for a little over 3 years, 3.5 years. Most of my experience was as a wildland firefighter. So I did that for 10 years, kind of all over the place. Mostly hand crew stuff, worked on a hot shot crew, did some hell attack stuff, all over Nevada, a little bit in California as well. I would say the thing that I liked the most about it is the camaraderie with the people. Coming to work and spending time with people that you've built these really strong relationships with. We call it brotherhood, sisterhood, whatever you want to call it. And that's a very real thing. You guys go through, or we all go through a lot together, and that definitely helps us, form like a really special connection. So definitely like that family aspect of doing the job with the people that you've grown, to love, really. I can't really think of one call just like leave a lasting impression on me. And there certainly have been calls that leave a lasting impression on me, but the thing that I've noticed is it's more of a cumulative effect. Like it's just like death by a thousand cuts. You just see like a bunch of stuff that's like not great, and then just like one thing that may seem, kind of benign. It's just kind of like it gets to you, and then all of a sudden you realize like, oh man, like I've really, my mental health has been, getting chipped away at. It's important to talk about it with the people that you work with, and preferably people that experience the same thing with maybe that specific call. So like your own crew. That definitely helps to just get it out there. And usually, once the ice is broken, people start, talking as well and sharing like how it made them feel. So I think that's like number one, the most important thing, kind of in the like acute setting, like right after it happens. Talking about it with some people that you feel comfortable with, and then outside of work, I definitely have come to learn that more of a preventative approach is best. It's kind of like an energy thing for me. I'll start to seem more lethargic and kind of tired, and just kind of like a disinterest in things that I like normally take joy in doing. That's usually the first sign for me. And then one of the things that I've noticed the last couple of years that I do when I'm like particularly down is I just try to take on as many things as I can at once. Definitely exercise, like keeping my fitness up, that is like number one for me. That's huge. Like that's gonna be the best way to kind of like build myself up so that, when the bad stuff starts to kind of chip away, I just kind of have that shield up from stuff like that. And then for me, I have like a very kind of obsessive personality, and kind of like my latent interests change all the time. People, yeah, I mean, for me, like I got a pretty, small circle. Like, honestly, the people at work, like the ones who really understand, like, what we go through and how difficult it can be at times to stay on top of your mental health. And then obviously like my partner, I have a wonderful girlfriend who's like, she understands this stuff very well, definitely better than me. She has a psychology background, so she's like the one person that like when all else fails, I can definitely go to her and talk with her about it. So probably the number one thing would be to do your best to have an identity outside of this job. Definitely having a different thing that defines you, or a couple different things outside of the job, I think would be most important, like establishing that individuality independent of, you know, being a first responder or fireman or paramedic, whatever it may be. My mental health journey, you know, has started a long time ago. Like even before I was a first responder, you know, I've always kind of struggled with bouts of depression. I've had some tough times, you know, in my life, even before, you know, being in the position I'm in now. And I've lost someone very close to me. I lost my dad to suicide a couple of years ago. So my advice to people listening to this now would be just talk to somebody, like whoever. Talk to one of us, talk to a therapist, talk to your family. It's okay to not be okay. And you would be surprised how many people in your life who you may think just have it all figured out are struggling with the same exact thing. So just talk to somebody. I know it's hard. It doesn't have to be perfect, doesn't have to be pretty. Just do it. I think they don't talk to people because there's kind of a stigma around it. You know, that's like the culture that we're trying to change. I think in the past, it's been kind of seen as like weakness a little bit, or that you're kind of a head case, which is just so far from the truth. You know, like the human condition, this thing called life, is like it's never ending. Just like a dichotomy of like joy and sadness, and, you know, triumph and failure. So it's just like, it is so normal to be struggling with these kinds of things, especially in our line of work, where you kind of see the worst side of humanity sometimes. So it's just there's nothing wrong with needing help. There's nothing wrong with being okay, but there's definitely nothing wrong with, you know, needing a little support.